DeSantis beats Trump in 2024 straw poll a second time at Colorado Conservative Summit. Governor Ron DeSantis once again swept a straw poll for 2024 presidential candidates at a Colorado conservative conference Saturday, beating out former President Donald Trump and other possible contenders. The attendees of the Western Conservative Summit, organized by the Centennial Institute, a think tank associated with Colorado Christian University, approved of a potential DeSantis candidacy for the Republican presidential nomination at 71%, with Trump coming in at 60%. The straw poll was conducted based on an approval system, which allowed attendees to vote for more than one candidate that they could support. DeSantis won the 2024 straw poll last year at the Western Conservative Summit, narrowly edging out Trump. DeSantis received 74% approval to Trump's 71% in 2021. Road to White House, DeSantis tops early 2024 straw poll. The 2022 audience supported Senator Ted Cruz, Republican Texas, at 29%, and former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Ben Carson at 24%. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Trump's press secretary and current GOP nominee for Arkansas governor who spoke at the event Saturday, claimed the fourth-place spot with 18% support. DeSantis has not declared his candidacy for 2024, and Trump has strongly hinted numerous times that he plans to run for the GOP nomination. Speaking to the crowd of hundreds of people at a Denver hotel, Sanders recalled her time in the White House with Trump, particularly bringing her children to work with her at times in the West Wing. We have to make sure that we have strong, Christian conservatives, engaged in making sure we have good leadership, Sanders said. She discussed the importance of education that provides children with the tools to succeed in life rather than indoctrinate kids, and the importance of protecting the most vulnerable. So often in our pro-life conversation, we only talk about the womb. Let me be very clear, the reason that we have to talk about it all, is because every stage of life has value, from every moment starting at conception, to the classroom, to the workplace, to the nursing home, to the end of its natural conclusion, every life has. Former Representative Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat Hawaii, spoke at the summit for the first time, delivering an impassioned speech about the Bill of Rights and decrying politicians who erode freedoms like the First and Second Amendments as domestic enemies of the people. Getting rid of the Second Amendment will not stop these evil acts of violence, Gabbard said. Similarly, getting rid of the First Amendment, banning and censoring so-called hate speech as many of our politicians are advocating now, will not get rid of hate. She said the temptations of those in power to abuse power is the purpose of the Constitution, Gabbard said. Yes, our freedoms are being threatened, but that threat is not coming from some far-off foreign country, but it's coming from within, Gabbard said. The politicians claim to want to protect us from misinformation, protect us from that which they claim is not true. The idea that we blindly follow along with whatever the government or those in power tell us is true, it goes against the very essence of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, she said. Former President Donald Trump endorses Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, other state GOPers for re-election. Days away from Tuesday's primaries, former President Donald Trump is unleashing a salvo of support for major Iowa Republican candidates, endorsing Gov. Kim Reynolds, making official his already announced backing of U.S. Senator Chuck Grassley and voicing his approval for two congressional candidates. A fifth-generation Iowan, Kim is fighting hard to create jobs, cut taxes, eliminate needless regulations, and protect the livelihoods of our great farmers and ethanol producers. Kim Reynolds is an America First conservative and she has my complete and total endorsement. Trump also endorsed U.S. Representative Ashley Hinson, who represents Iowa's U.S. House District 1 in Congress and is seeking election to the newly redrawn District 2 seat. And he advocated for the re-election of U.S. Representative Randy Feenstra in Iowa's 4th House District, calling him an advocate for conservative values. Trump also endorsed U.S. Representative Ashley Hinson, who represents Iowa's U.S. House District 1 in Congress and is seeking election to the newly redrawn District 2 seat. And he advocated for the re-election of U.S. Representative Randy Feenstra in Iowa's 4th House District, calling him an advocate for conservative values. None of three face opponents in Tuesday's primary. But each will have a Democratic opponent in the fall: Deidre DeJear in the governor's race, Iowa State Sen. Liz Mathis in the District 2 race, and Ryan Melton in the District 4 race. Also opposing Reynolds will be Libertarian Rick Stewart. Feenstra will face Libertarian Kyle Grossman, Brian Holder of the Liberty Caucus, and Independent Ryan. Trump previously endorsed Hinson and Feenstra in 2020. Reacting to Reynolds' endorsement by Trump, DeJear said in a statement to the Des Moines Register that Reynolds and Trump's extremist agendas are not good for Iowa, citing what she said were $1.7 billion in losses by the state's primary industries under the Trump administration. Iowans deserve a governor who will prioritize investments in people. Under Kim's leadership, we have fallen from number 1 in the nation in education to number 19, DeJear said. She is nearly 365 days past due in building needed mental health care clinics. Meanwhile, Iowans are waiting 6 months for an appointment. Yet today, our state is short almost 50,000 affordable housing units. We cannot continue to fail our state with policies that only serve special interests. Trump also officially endorsed the re-election of Republican U.S. Senator Chuck Grassley in a statement Saturday, calling him a courageous patriot. During my administration, Chuck worked closely with me to appoint and confirm judges who uphold the rule of law and interpret the Constitution as our founders intended, Trump said in his Chuck fights to support our farmers, empower ethanol producers, restore American energy independence, and protect life. He had given Grassley a verbal endorsement when the two shared the stage at an October 2021 rally in Des Moines, calling him a great American patriot and a man who loves Iowa. At a rally in Des Moines, Grassley faces fellow Republican Jim Carlin in Tuesday's voting.